those who took down Flight 93 before it had a chance to do significant damage in our nation's capital. He was the keynote speaker at the ceremonies, the 20th anniversary ceremonies. We'll have that for you in the back half of the program. 55 degrees. Before we go any farther, we're going to look back to last Friday, the 10th, because we set a record weather-wise in Wenatchee. Rainfall. We haven't had a chance to say record rain. It's been a long time. We had 0.21 inches, almost a quarter of an inch of rain, as measured at Pangbourne on Friday. It was a wet day. We needed significant rainfall. They weren't expecting that much of rain, but we got it, and that's broke the old record, which was 0.18 inches of rain set back in 1985. And Ephrata had 3/4 of an inch of rain on Friday. Other places in our viewing area got very little rain. But we got a good soaking, and we needed it. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get going with our cameras around the valley here on this Monday. See what we're up for today. The cross camera begins our viewing pleasure. It is clear skies. It is 55 degrees. Sunrise this morning, 6:36. Sunset tonight, 7:16. We're down to 12 hours and 40 minutes of daylight. Last Monday at this time, we had 13 hours of daylight, so we've lost 20 minutes of daylight in a week. We'll lose about 26 minutes of daylight this week before we finally get to the autumnal equinox on Wednesday, the 22nd. The days are definitely getting shorter, and we're in for autumn-like weather. Wait till you get to the back half of the week. We're going to cool down, and we're going to get more rain, and I say bring it on. Camera 2. Oh, great view there. Is that from... What camera is that? Oh, that's jump off, I'm thinking. I'm waiting for confirmation from the good... Yeah, as Uriah once said, yeah. So there you go. Jump off ridge looking down over East Wenatchee. That's a dramatic view. We haven't used that one in a while. Good morning to the east side from Jump Off Ridge. Camera number 3. I'm liking... Oh, we're back to the Wenatchee Valley. This camera has already been used. Up to Lake Chelan we go. I'm seeing the clouds, and I'm seeing a little, not nearly as much smoke for the 25-mile fire as we look over Lake Chelan at Wapato Point, the narrowest point at the lake there, and your way up to Stehekin. Still some clouds and some smoke up there from the 25-mile fire. Chelan did get a little bit of rain on Friday, not as much as Wenatchee, but it looks pretty nice up there now. And camera number 4. We are off to see, well, speaking of that, that's the way up Lake Chelan. That's, I want to say, I forgot the name of it. Oh, Stamen Flats. That's right. Thank you very much. Stamen Flats. That's 97A at the bottom of your screen on your way up to Lake Chelan, the valley way off into the distance, the Columbia River, and a pretty good swath of Douglas County dominates most of that screen as we look to the north, about 30 miles or so. Fine work this morning. All right. Quick little slide from the National Weather Service from the Climate Prediction Center. These are the people who handle the long-term forecasts as far as La Nina and all that other stuff. Our 6 to 10 day outlook, which begins actually at the end of this week, our 6 to 10 day outlook, as you can see, calls for below normal temperatures and above normal precipitation. There's a quick little shot of the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval from Saturday night, which has nothing to do with the weather. Again, that's the 6 to 10 day outlook from September 18th, so the end of the week, until September 22nd. We are in for a cool and wet weather pattern, but we have to get there first. Next couple of days don't look too bad from the National Weather Service. Let's take a look at that forecast. Sunshine today, high of about 76 or so. By the way, we hit 81 on Saturday and 81 on Sunday, back-to-back 81s. Normal high this time of the year, 78. So a little cooler than normal today, 52 for the overnight low. We're at 55 right now. A little bit warmer, close to 80 on Tuesday. The ridge, and it ain't much of a ridge, is going to start dissipating Tuesday night. Wednesday we'll have considerably cooler temperatures, still bountiful sunshine, but pretty cool for mid-September. And then here comes some active weather, especially Friday and Saturday. It's going to start feeling like autumn with lots of clouds, a better than 50-50 chance of rain starting Thursday night, lasting through Friday and all the way into Saturday, tapering off a little bit on Sunday afternoon. So we're in for some cool weather as a rather robust system rolls in out the Pacific. It's bringing with it cool air and moisture, and we will take both. That's your forecast from the National Weather Service. 5 minutes after the hour, a 1-minute break, and then your Monday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Anatchy Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Kids are resilient. I just love their energy. They bounce back so quickly. I love the stories they tell. I love just their charisma, their character. I love to see that subtle smile that you pull out of a kid, when you start talking with them about something they really like. I just love what I do, and I can't imagine I would be as happy doing anything else.
This is the NCW Live Concert Calendar. Tipsy Canyon Wines of Manson presents live music every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. Friday, it's live at Alta Cellars in downtown Manson at 3 p.m. Wine Girls Manson Concert Summer Series is Friday and Saturdays at 7 p.m. And Sunday, it's Succession Winery located between Chelan and Manson with live music at 2 p.m. That's the NCW Live Concert Calendar. Check individual websites for more information.
55 degrees, quite a bit of sunshine. We'll be in the upper 70s today and tomorrow. Cooler on Wednesday. Here come the clouds and the rain on Thursday and especially Friday and Saturday. Get ready for some autumnal-like weather, even though we're still technically in summer. 7 minutes after the hour, we begin with this. The Wenatchee School Board. Well, they say the members of that board have been the subject of a, quote, credible threat, end quote. And that's going to force future public meetings to be held entirely online. The district said it became aware of the threat on Friday, and the Wenatchee Police Department is investigating. Police advised the district to move board meetings online until further notice. The next one is scheduled for 6 o'clock tomorrow. More than 50 members of the public at the board's last meeting on August 24th refused to wear masks in the meeting room despite state requirements to safeguard against COVID. The board finally adjourned to an online Zoom meeting. So the public, you can view the board meeting on the district's YouTube channel and sign up to give public comment on the district's website. But again, it will be held online beginning tomorrow. The body of a deceased 25-year-old woman was found Tuesday on US Highway 2, Stevens Pass, just east of the summit. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies say a passing motorist located the body about 8:30 Tuesday night along the roadside near milepost 73 in the Rock Mountain Trail area. The dead person was identified as a Snohomish County resident. Authorities did not name the woman. Police say they're treating the death as suspicious, but they said there's no evidence of an ongoing threat to the public. Those with information on the discovery or anybody who have more information on what's going on there are asked to call the sheriff's tip line at 667-6845. A lawsuit to throw out the new state capital gains tax. It's going to remain in a Douglas County courtroom. Judge Brian Huber on Friday rejected arguments by the state of Washington to dismiss the case. And also he said that he would not change the venue to an Olympia courtroom. Plaintiffs, including the Washington Farm Bureau, say the 7% tax on the sale of stocks and bonds over $250,000 is unconstitutional. Huber's decision means attorneys now must bring further motions to his courtroom. No date for future hearings, by the way, have been set. And as suspected Ephrata drug house that was raided on Wednesday for the second time this year, and a suspect who is still awaiting trial from the first raid now faces charges on the second raid. 29-year-old Eric Carlin Craig faces multiple new drug charges, including possession of methamphetamine and possession of heroin with intent to deliver. The Grant County Interagency Narcotics Enforcement Team raided the trailer on the property at 16860 Fry Road Northwest and reported seizing 41 grams of meth, 21 grams of heroin, 1 fentanyl tablet, and various drug supplies. The home was first raided and Craig was first arrested back on May 25th. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said he was in jail until July 16th. That's when he posted bond. Also arrested in the latest raid, 47-year-old Sean Mutzler of Ephrata, who was wanted on 2 outstanding felony warrants for failing to register as a sex offender. That's what's making news on this Monday. We're going to have a lot of news for you tonight. I don't have any proof of it, but my trick knee tells me we're going to have a busy day in the bullpen with a preview. Here's Grant Olson.
Good Monday morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, nice weather to begin our work week and then windy and cooler conditions by Wednesday. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has a wrap on the weekend's prep sports action, the Mariners, and a look at the Seahawks game yesterday against the Colts. That and all the day's news stories coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. We appreciate it. Don't forget, we'd love to hear from you. Get a hold of us. You can use our Facebook page. You can email us directly. You can call us on our telephone number. Yes, we have a telephone. We're not, most people have a telephone, I think. Or you can go to our homepage, ncwlife.com, and click on the Contact Us icon. After a quick 1-minute break, Seahawks start their 2021 campaign on a victorious note. Highlights from a wild night of racing at the WVSO, plus the weekend that was in prep sports. Sports is 1 minute away. Watch you Wake Up in Anatchy Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Counterplay inside, picking his way back to the 10, to the 5.
High school sports is back, and NCW Life Channel's got you covered. Tune in for football, girls soccer, and volleyball right here. Thanks to our sponsors, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Rivercom 911, and Sangster Motors. Follow all the action of high school sports on your local TV station, the NCW Life Channel.
14, they come back.
Today we're doing some employee development with our technicians.
Today, we're going to learn how to give our home a hug.
It's not just a motto, but a unique way that Patriot technicians care for your home.
Oh, no, come on. You really got to get in there and get your arms around it. Give it a good embrace. All right, hey, good
I
job.
think the training is going really well.
Heating and cooling, we'll give your home a hug.
Sports at 12 minutes after the hour. Seahawks came blazing right out of the gates, and they cruised to a fairly easy 28-16 victory over the Colts on Sunday morning. The game was more lopsided than the final score indicated. Russell Wilson threw 4 touchdown passes, 2 of which went to Tyler Lockett. Seattle jumped out to a 21-10 halftime lead, never looked back. Pete Carroll, needless to say, happy with the victory.
So many things that were good today, because it's this first time we get out and really get playing. And I know everybody's worried about how we handled preseason and all that. Now look at it. Guys played like crazy. They were running and hitting and tackling and doing all their stuff, and we'll get better. And so I was really fired up about this accomplishment to get the thing started. I like the challenge of going on the road against such a good team in a really noisy setting and all of that, and we handled all of it. Russell played fantastic football today. He got terrific help from his guys catching the football, and the pass protection was really solid as well. We were able to run the ball for 140-something. Chris looked great to give us the balance that we need. But really, the day to me really goes to Shane. I think his first time out and a chance to show it, and I'm really, really proud of what he was able to do, because he went for it the whole time.
The new and improved Seahawks offense, 381 total yards. That'll get the job done. Up next on the schedule, Tennessee coming to town Sunday, 1:25 on CBS. So that's pros. To the college football scoreboard we go from our friends at Les Schwab. As you can see, Eastern no problem with Central Washington, 63-14. The Cougars, well, Portland State made it close. The Cougars pulled away in the second half of the victory. And, of course, the Huskies went in to Ann Arbor and got their hats handed to them. Wolverines 31, Huskies 10. All right, to the football gridiron on Friday night from our friends at Les Schwab. Eastmont ran into a buzzsaw. Gonzaga Prep is very good. Post Falls rolled over Moses Lake and Sunnyside. Taught Hermiston. And then on Friday, they finally got off to playing some football. The Panthers blanked Mount Baker 10-zip. Davis topped Ellensburg. Ike took care of East Valley. To the Les Schwab scoreboard, the Caribou Trail League. Cashmere came out with a big second half, won in the rain, beating Goldendale 28-25. Kings came into Peshastin, beat Cascade. Okanagan handed Chelan his first loss of the year. And Alfredo wins the Battle of the Basin, shutting out Quincy 33-0. B-League play, OMAC, a winner over Brewster. Waterville-Mansfield pounded Pateras. Liberty Bell got a win, and Orville stumbled at Reardon. To the Les Schwab Prep girls soccer scoreboard from Saturday. Eastmont remains unbeaten. They beat Central Valley 4-2. Wenatchee edged Ingram 3-2. Cascade blanked Royal. Alfredo edged Cashmere. Bridgeport top league Roosevelt in soccer. Manson got by Brewster, and Liberty Bell big over OMAC 7-1. Volleyball action Saturday. Wenatchee edged Central Valley 3-2. Brewster blanked Waterville-Mansfield. Chelan swept Manson. And there's one volleyball match tonight that was moved from last Thursday. Wenatchee will host Chelan at 7 o'clock. An intense night of racing Saturday At the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, 4 classes to be determined in the first main event of the night. Riker Oler polished off his track season championship with a win in the Bandoleros. Cannon DeLong was second, followed by McKenna Lutz. The Plum Perfect Roadrunners main event checkered flag flew for East Wenatchee's R.T. Griner. Ephrata's Mason Haygood second, and Wenatchee's J. Evans third. In the Tri-State Legends Cup was settled for the season with Kalispell, Montana's Brock Denny taking over the lead late and winning. Olympia's Brandon Cole second, and Bellevue's Rick McNeil third. The final class of the night, the Jerry Burschauer Memorial 111. For the Jerry's Auto Supply late models, Evan Getz led most of the first half of the race until a caution came out. They had to restart the race at lap 85 of the 111 laps. The final 25 laps were absolutely nuts. Don't take my word for it. Here are the highlights.
Look at this push up the outside by Jesse Jensen. Got a little loose off of turn 4.
Outside line working right now, but Getz fighting back on the bottom. Jesse Jensen, clear! The outside line fights again. No, here comes Getz back on the bottom. Contact! Contact between Jensen and Getz.
Alverson waiting back there in third place, waiting for a mistake in front of him.
Licking his chops right now in that
Look at Haley Constance coming inside.
Making a move for 3. Evan Getz, Jesse Jensen side by side. Getz is there at the door. Jesse Jensen was clear for half a second, and Getz fights back. They made contact about 2 laps ago. Jensen clear again, but Getz fights back on the bottom. And Jensen clear. He's got it. 21 laps to go. Jesse Jensen leads, and now Evan Getz has to go back on offense. Here we go.
There we go.
Again. That's a better one.
Much better start.
Oh,
Look at Evan Getz.
Jensen. Jensen up under
Look out. Terry Alverson and Jensen goes into the wall. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
This changes everything.
Oh, my gosh.
This changes everything.
Jesse Jensen into the wall off the restart.
I think he spun the tires and Halverson got underneath him.
Jensen already with the windscreen down. And he wants to have words with somebody. And we're going green. 5 laps. And Beeman
had the nose in front. Evan Getz fights back on the inside. Fighting back, trying to hold him off. Clear off of turn number 4. Evan Getz, smooth sailing ahead.
Oh, look out!
Beeman contact!
Yeah, Beeman got it into him.
3 wide, here comes Constance!
Constance on the inside. She's going to run out of room there.
Beeman not giving up.
Evan Getz around
not
the
giving
outside.
up. He fights back on the inside, outside. 3 to go.
Evan Getz did it earlier in this race where he went around the
He's gonna
wide
have to do
side.
it again.
He's doing it again.
He got it. Clear off of turn number 2. Down the front stretch. 2 laps to go for the kid from Okanagan.
Haley Constance settles in for third. She's got Chad Fitzpatrick outside of her, trying to get a podium finish here tonight.
Oh, Beeman slides up the track. White flag. 1 lap to go.
What a story here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
The 8th grader makes the move on the outside. Okanagan Middle School. Evan gets a winner in the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models, and the crowd goes nuts.
I think Chad Fitzpatrick edged to Haley Constance for third.
The crowd goes wild.
Unbelievable.
Evan gets 13 years old, a winner in Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Model competition. The whole family jumping in. The whole family jumping in. Evan, a winner, $3,000. You're taking home a big check, my friend. Evan, did you ever even imagine this would happen tonight?
I mean, I didn't know we were going to win, but I thought we had a good chance of doing it because Jason, he's shaking down this car really well for me and gave me a really good chance. I'd really like to thank him for spotting for me really good tonight, and I'm just so excited. I don't know what to say right now.
Evan Getz, you battle. You led by far the most laps. Then you get shuffled back on a restart, and you think, now I got to go back to work. But then things happen, and here you are. You hold off Andy Beeman, Chad Fitzpatrick, Haley Constance was up there as well. Caden Anderson took a shot. You held them all off, and you get this win.
Yeah, it was a really good fight those last 10, 20 laps. I mean, that was the most fun I've ever had racing right there. That was real racing. I want to do that every single time.
13 years old. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. He wins his first ever Pro late model race on his home track. Andy Beeman, by the way, settled for second place. Chad Fitzpatrick battled in and finished third. The final night of racing. 2 weeks' time, the Neil Newberry 125. It'll be 2 Saturdays at Wenatchee Valley Super Bowl. Mariners had high hopes heading into the weekend to make some moves on the wild card. Arizona has the worst record in the National League. Didn't happen. Diamondbacks took 2 of 3 from Seattle over the weekend, including Sunday's 5-4 decision. In other American League West play, Houston beat the Angels 3-1. Texas topped Oakland 4-3. So if we take a look at the Les Schwab wild card race, Toronto has taken over the top wild card spot with a 22-7 shellacking of Baltimore. They're in a virtual tie with Boston. The Red Sox fell to the White Sox 2-1. The Yankees are a game back. They lost to the Mets last night 7-6. Seattle and Oakland are 3 games back as the Mariners host Boston in the first of 3 games tonight at 7:10. Now those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Monday morning. Can we make it Thursday? Happy National Peanut Day today. We love peanuts. We gobble down peanuts. Peanuts have been a big part of our diet for God knows how many years, a long, long time. Of course, packed full of protein. Most people consume their peanuts via peanut butter. Of course, peanuts aren't nuts. We know that. They're legumes. They're tasty, but they're legumes, which means they grow in the ground. They don't grow on a tree. Nuts grow on trees above the ground. Peanuts do not. They have all kinds of great medicinal values or great sense of protein, as I already mentioned. It takes about 540 peanuts to make a single 12-ounce jar of peanut butter, but to legally call it peanut butter, you must have 90% peanuts. The other 10%, whatever, but 90% of the ingredients in an official jar of peanut butter has to be peanuts, or you can't call it peanut butter. By the way, we eat a lot of peanuts. We eat about 6 pounds of peanuts or peanut products each year per person in this country. 6 pounds of peanuts. I think I once ate 6 pounds of peanuts at a baseball game. I'm not sure. Happy National Peanut Day. I was going to show up a picture of Mr. Peanut, but he denied me permission. 23 minutes after the hour today in history, it was the turning point of the War of 1812. The defense of Fort Baltimore. In 1816, the Battle of Baltimore, the defense of Fort McHenry, and because of that, and the fact that we held off the British, Francis Scott Key wrote a poem called The Defense of Fort McHenry, which would later become the national anthem. 207 years ago today, the British tried to capture Baltimore. They failed to do it, and it was the turning point of the War of 1812. 159 years ago today, Corporal Barton W. Mitchell of the 27th Indiana Volunteers discovered an envelope with 3 cigars wrapped in a piece of paper lying in a campground that a bunch of Confederates had just abandoned. They said, hey, they looked at the document. They said, this looks like Robert E.'s plans for the Battle of Antietam. And sure enough, it was Robert E. Lee's plans for the Battle of Antietam. Eventually, they got all the way to Major General George P. McClellan, who knew exactly what Lee had planned. Although we did win the battle, the Union did win the Battle of Antietam. They could have done a lot worse damage. Never leave your battle plans laying around at the campfire. There's your lesson there. It happened on this date in 1862. This is the 50th anniversary of the ending of the bloodiest prison riot in American history. In Attica, the National Guard stormed the New York's Attica prison to end the prison result, which lasted 4 days. In the end, 43 people died, 10 correctional officers and civilians, and 33 inmates were killed in the bloodiest U.S. riot in American history, which came to an end on this date 50 years ago today. And 36 years ago today, Super Mario Brothers made its debut. It's one of the most biggest selling video games of all time. Over 50 million copies have been sold. Played that one. I love playing that. Anyway, Super Mario Brothers. You could go to the store and buy it on this date in 1986. Let's do birthdays. General John J. Blackjack Pershing, born this date in 1860. He was the commander of the American troops in World War I in France. Of course, he led us to victory, and of course, he did it by saying, we're not going to be a part of the British Army or the French Army. We're not going to do any of that. We're going to do our own forces under our own command. We're not going to be integrated into other foreign nations, which was probably a pretty good idea. He was the man who, he served as a mentor to Omar Bradley, George Patton, General Douglas MacArthur, Dwight D. Eisenhower. John Pershing, born in the state in 1860. Alberta Williams King, the mother of Martin Luther King Jr. was born in the state in 1904, and just like her son, she was assassinated, shot to death while playing the church organ at the Ebenezer Baptist Church in 1974. And Jacqueline Bissett is 77 years old today. I just thought I'd throw that out there so I could throw a picture on the screen. Had a big crush on her back in the day. 25 minutes after the hour, we have an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and we're going to replay, or not replay, we're going to play for the first time the speech that was given by David Beamer. David Beamer, of course, the father of Todd Beamer, who was one of the heroes of Flight 93 on the tragic events of September 11th, 2001. David Beamer was the keynote speaker of the 9/11 remembrance ceremonies at the Spirit of America Memorial in Cashmere. We will have David Beamer's speech for you when we return. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Yes, it's me. It's my husband. I think is there something the matter with him?
It was a feeling that I'll never forget, like being able to meet them and know that he survived.
Okay, tell me what's happening. Is he conscious? No, he's not. Okay, take a deep breath for me. I'm getting you help.
Rivercom means to me that I still have my husband here with me. They're the ones that guided me through saving his life.
Stay active and independent for life. SAIL is an evidence-based strength, balance, and fitness program. The exercises in a SAIL class have been packaged into a formal regimen focusing on 4 key areas important to the health and fitness of mature participants: low-impact cardiovascular, balance work, strength training, and stretching. SAIL classes are designed for people of all fitness levels and can be done sitting or standing. Join us for SAIL on the NCW Life channel. Check your listing for days and times.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. So I'm watching a video on the net, something on YouTube or Facebook, and suddenly the video stops and an advertisement, a commercial pops up. Now, isn't this the reason many of us eschew regular TV and pay for cable or internet service so we don't have to watch commercials? Now look, advertisers, let me tell you, I'm going to guarantee you that if your commercial is the one that interrupts my streaming videos, I will be sure never to patronize your business or buy your product. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word. I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting. I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
This is Kelly, owner of the Original Children's Shop in downtown Wenatchee. We strive to bring you the most quality, fashionable, and fun clothing for your little ones, along with gifts, toys, and accessories. I look forward to meeting you soon at the Original Children's Shop.
Alta Cellars Winery is a family-owned boutique winery featuring structured wines from some of the most sought-after vineyards in Washington. Time-honored winemaking techniques blend with New World style to create reds and whites that are captivating. Located in the original firehouse in downtown Manson, the spacious indoor-outdoor setting provides the perfect backdrop to indulge in a sit-down wine experience. You're invited to come enjoy this firsthand at Alta Cellars, now open in Manson.
I'm happy that we can be here kind of eyes to eyes to say thank you for what you do, what you've done, what you continue to do, to remember, to celebrate the sacrifices that so many made. And this occasion it's an anniversary. It's about time. It's 20 years of time. And so I'm going to talk a bit about time, but not just today. I'm going to talk a little bit about the time before 9/11. I'll talk about 9/11, and I'm going to talk about the days and the years since 9/11, and maybe a little bit about what's next. One of my favorite groups was Chicago. One of their great songs was, "Does anybody know really what time it is? Does anyone really care?" Well, you folks know what time it is, and yeah, you do care. What about the days before that day, 9/11? Days, weeks, months, years before that day, our enemy was planning, meticulously planning their next approach to destroy America. Wasn't their first attack? How about 1993, World Trade Center #1? How about our Marines in the base in Beirut? How about the USS Cole? Just to name a few. They were planning a long time for 9/11 to attack us in very fundamental areas of our country. How about commerce? World Trade Center, 2 magnificent buildings at the heart of that. How about the Pentagon? Home and seat of our military planning and strategic thinking, and also another great, easy target from the air. And last but not least, they don't subscribe to our representative form of government. Capitol building, end of the National Mall, the one with the big white dome on it. Oh, and what a great target. It's full of elected representatives and tourists and many of Americans, and we can take a lot of them out when we bomb that place. That was their plan. Well thought, orchestrated. Guys learn how to fly airplanes, they didn't have to learn much about landing them. The day before 9/11, 9/10, Todd and Lisa Beamer were in Rome, Italy, just finishing several days of a sales incentive award trip, having a wonderful time. For those of you that have been to Europe, you know that the best way to go is on somebody else's euro. And that's exactly what they had been doing. So Todd and his pregnant wife, Lisa, flew home. They came back to the United States on September the 10th. Todd was still working. He was, I guess, working on his next trip because he planned to go to work the next morning. He worked for Oracle Corporation. They're headquartered in Redwood City, just south of the San Francisco airport. So he got on that United Flight 93. Todd had a plan for the day. Had an important customer meeting, and in his day timer, he also had written down the time of his red-eye flight that he was taken back the evening of 9/11, so he could have breakfast with his 2 little boys, 3.5 and 1.5, and his pregnant wife the next morning. That was his plan. Things changed that day. There were a number of blessings that day for us and for the country. Blessing number 1, Flight 93, although the day was a beautiful day, took off late. Too much traffic. That meant the meticulous timing of our enemies, where they had coordinated boom, 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 in a matter of minutes, was disrupted. And because of that delay, with another wonderful piece of technology, namely cell phones, telephones, the passengers and free people on Flight 93 came to understand, hang on, plane has been crashed into the World Trade Center. Our enemy, these hijackers, who proclaim we're just going back to Newark, where we just took off from, and our demands are going to be met, they're lying. We're not going back to Newark. We think, sure enough, we're now a guided missile. The blessing was they had the opportunity to know the reality of their dire circumstance. Next blessing, they as a group considered options, what to do, took a vote, and decided, let's do something. And they did. In our heart of hearts, we knew right away when that plane crashed in a quiet meadow outside of Shanksville with no other people killed on the ground, we knew that the free people on the plane had done something. Todd's dad and mom, we knew in our heart of hearts that our little boy would have been involved. Special blessing for us, all of us, and the country was that blessed phone call that Todd Beamer had with a lady named Lisa Jefferson, GTE supervisor based in Chicago. Todd used the airplane phone. Those of us that used to fly in the old days know what those are like. In the back of the seat or in the center console, hello. He was able to have a several-minute conversation with Lisa Jefferson and tell her what really was going on. And she did a wonderful job of being the person on the other end of that phone call. They together shared, they together prayed. Lisa Jefferson heard Todd say, we're probably not going to make it out of this. Please give my love to our family. Todd was excited to hear when she said, hey, my name's Lisa too. And then Lisa Jefferson heard those last words from Todd. Are you guys ready? Let's roll. It was a call to action, do the right thing, and to do it at the right time. At jet speed, good people, it would only have taken 20 more minutes, that's 20 minutes, for the plane to reach its intended target. They did the right thing at the right time. Let's roll. The biggest blessing coming out of that day for the Beamer clan is that Todd Beamer was a Christian on 9/10 and many days before that. So we know the whereabouts of Todd's soul. We know it's been 20 years and every day has been a great day for Todd Beamer. Not so much for the rest of us, not every day. That's the biggest blessing. We are pleased that you folks have done this, that you get together to remember those sacrifices, and that we all have the opportunity to remember, okay, what's happened in the days after that 9/11. I was still working then. I have since gotten over it. I was in California. There was to be a memorial service for Todd on Sunday. 9/11 was Tuesday. It's going to be in New Jersey, where they lived. How do I get there? My boss said, "Hey, Beams, don't worry. We'll charter a jet. We'll get you there." Well, it didn't take long for even my boss to figure out nobody flying, private or otherwise, nobody. So a longtime friend and business colleague said to me, we agreed Wednesday afternoon, we can make it if we drive. And we did. And we did. It's amazing. You can do that in slightly over 2 hours, coast to coast, and seldom go over 55 miles an hour. Or was it 155? I can't quite remember. The days after 9/11, where I had the opportunity for the first time ever to drive coast to coast across our beautiful country with all of its diversity. And what did I see? I saw thousands of flags. None of them were on fire. None of them were being trampled. For those days, we were the United States of America. And then in the weeks after that, so many of the folks represented by these marvelous statues, what they did to sacrifice, rescue, protect, do their best at their own peril. And then what's happened in the last years with thousands of other families having a hole in their family because their loved ones have served, sacrificed, protected, kept us free, kept us safe. 20 years. Something that hasn't changed before 9/11, since 9/11, we have the same enemy. The same enemy. They have not changed their mission. They have not come to accept the American way of life and our value system and the way we choose to govern ourselves and the freedom we have to worship or not. They have the same agenda. They have not surrendered. Even as we're here today, in this special spot, freely remembering what we're doing, David's saying whatever he wants to say. They're doing what they continue to do. And it's gonna take more of us, our fellow Americans, to continue to keep us safe. Same enemy. We all have certain images in our mind, those of us that were around on 9/11. As was mentioned, I had a chance to speak to the kids at Todd Beamer High School yesterday, and none of them were here for that. On my speech they were, but not for 9/11. We have images vivid in our mind. A lot of them hard to remember. Some of those images in my mind are our enemies in the days after 9/11 celebrating and dancing in the streets because of what they had done to us. It grieves me, people. It grieves me. In the last few days, I've seen that again. I've seen the same enemies dancing and celebrating in the streets. And it's not because this time of what they did, it's because of what we did. I really don't have the words to say about what I think about that. What else has been happening lately in our country? And what I encourage all of us to think about. We are not so much the United States of America. Sadly, we are the states of America. Some red, some blue. Once upon a time, we were all red, white, and blue. There are things that are dividing us. We have chosen to celebrate some things that are wrong. we have decided to vilify some things that are right. All you special people sitting back there, standing back there with those blue uniforms, you don't need less, you need more of everything. In recent times, we're lots of conversation, lots of impact, the virus, COVID, and its variants, more to come. And that virus has had terrible effect. We've lost loved ones. It's damaged our economy and our businesses, some to the point of no return. The virus is deadly. We have another virus that's been spreading for longer than the last 2 years. This virus is not going to have a drug company vaccine. In my mind, this virus that's infecting our country is the socialism virus. It's rampant, and it's got some serious spreaders that are infecting us and our kids and our institutions. Anybody really know what time it is? You know, does anybody really care? What about now? Okay, 2021. How do you like it so far? It's had some great days. Today's one of them. But it certainly had some challenges, including recent events. What's next? I used to think I had a reasonable imagination. I could think about what might be. Full disclosure, folks, what I've already seen and experienced, I have not sufficient imagination to forecast. What's going to happen next? I don't know. I don't know. I've got some recommendations. They're not executive orders. Okay? They're just recommendations. They come from where I come from. Full disclosure, if you haven't sorted it out by now, I'm a Christian. I'm a conservative. I'm a capitalist, I'm a citizen, and I'm concerned. And I have my own worldviews. And you know, God Almighty, the master of the universe that's given us this day, also at the same time, in each one of us, he created us with a free will. And so we can all exercise that. And those of you that choose to take my recommendations and agree, fine. If you don't, it's okay. Everyone has a right to be wrong. Recommendation number one. The biggest blessing for the Beamer clan was Todd Beamer was a Christian. We're people of faith. We have that hope and that assurance. God made a way. Gave us his son, Jesus Christ. All you have to do is accept him. And he's got a a wonderful kingdom. And it's not hard to be a citizen. But it's a free will choice that everyone has a chance to make. Recommendation: honor those who are honorable. Trust the trustworthy. Respect those who have earned and earn it. And as I told the young people at Federal Way, Todd Beamer High School yesterday, when you see someone in a uniform, EMT, fireman, policeman, my buddies at the State Patrol, take the initiative. Approach them. Say, excuse me. Thank you for what you're doing to keep me safe and free. Number one, they'll appreciate it. And number two, it'll make you really feel good. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. One more recommendation. That virus I talked about, it's possible. It's possible to create a vaccine to stop it, to eradicate it. But we can't necessarily depend upon someone else to invent that. We have the opportunity to foster our own vaccine at home, in our homes, in our communities, in our schools. And by the way, when we do go to vote for people, see if they're willing to spread the vaccine instead of the virus. We all do that. We can, as someone said in other circumstances, we can stop the spread of this vaccine that may, in fact, just kill our country. Once upon a time, and at the right time, a young guy, Todd Beamer said, let's roll. It was the right thing to do and the right time to do it. So when you think about those two words, and perhaps some of my recommendations, let's roll.
Tipsy Canyon Winery has become the place to go for fine wine and unbelievable views of the Chelan Valley. And now there's even more to enjoy. A new bandstand hosts live music every Thursday night during the spring and summer. The oversized fire pit's a favorite gathering place in the fall and winter. Tipsy Canyon has become a year-round destination for wine lovers. And while things have changed, what remains the same is that at-home feel provided by Mark, Tammy, and Lexi Garland. Stay for the moment that becomes the memory at Tipsy Canyon.
In a world afraid of technology, one man, one show will bring you the newest innovations that may just change your life. This summer, Ray McNeil and your Weekly Tech Update is your Weekly Tech Update with Ray McNeil.
Chelan Wireless is your Verizon authorized retailer featuring the latest iPhone and Android devices. Personal or business, they have the plan and the customer service you're looking for.
In these challenging times, Bear Foods is open and ready to help. From health to diet to home, we are here to take care of your needs. Bear Foods, the good food store.
From home furnishings to the latest in home entertainment technology, Deepwater Home and Electronics can provide the selection and the connection for your wireless world.
Succession is leading the way for a new generation of Chelan wineries. Named Platinum Winemaker of the Year in 2017 and the one to watch in 2018 by Wine Press, Succession is setting the pace. Award-winning wines are just a part of the overall experience. Add live music on Sundays and fantastic views, and you have it all. Succession Wines, located on the north shore of Lake Chelan between Chelan and Manson.
The Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center brings you Vibrant Motion, a new hour-long exercise program featuring local instructors Connie Townsend and Pat Robbins. Each week, we'll bring you a new episode with aerobics or Tai Chi. We promise you'll get a heart-pumping, low-impact workout regardless of your age. Join us for Vibrant Motion, weekdays on the NCW Life channel. Check your program guide for airtimes.
And we are back at 56 minutes after the hour here on this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We hope you enjoyed that very important speech by David Beamer during the 9/11 remembrance commemoration ceremonies at the Spirit of America Memorial out there in Cashmere. We were glad to bring that to you. A little shop talk real quick. The annual BNCW, the Building North Central Washington Home Tour and Remodeling Expo is coming up. Put it on your calendar if you haven't already. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, September 17th, 18th, and 19th. September 17th, 18th, and 19th, so not this, so it's coming up. It's right around the corner. And the Chef's Tour, which is an extremely popular event, is right around the corner. It's the 16th. Today's the 13th. Do the math. It's the 8th annual Building North Central Washington Chefs on Tour. You got 4 area chefs, 2 area wineries, 1 brewery, 1 hard cider setup, and it's all part of this year's Tour of Homes. So to get your tickets before it's too late, go to bncw.org. BNCW, which is an acronym for Building North Central Washington.org. Everything you need, not only about the Chefs on Tour event, but the upcoming Home Tour and Remodeling Expo right there at BNCW. All right, let's move forward with this slide from the National Weather Service. It is the long-term outlook, and as you can tell, it is going to be a cooler and wetter than normal weekend. This starts on the 18th, Saturday, September 18th. It goes through next Saturday, the 22nd. So it's next Friday, I should say. It's the 6 to 10 day outlook for that period of time. We are in for a significant change in the weather heading our way with much cooler than normal temperatures and much wetter than normal precipitation, quite frankly. After the record high temperatures that we saw all summer long and the record warmest temperature ever since they started taking measurements of these things and this record-setting drought, we could use the cooler temperatures and the rain. For one thing, it certainly doused the area fires that are still burning, but just a quick little heads up on that. The 6 to 10 day outlook is calling for cooler than normal and wetter than normal weather for North Central Washington. We set a record rainfall on Friday. Last Friday, we had 0.21 inches of rain at Payne-Bohr Memorial Airport. That broke the old record of 0.1 inches of rain. So that was set back in 1985. And Ephrata on Friday got 0.63 inches of rain, almost 3/4 of an inch of rain. It was a wet Friday. And we're in for a wet weekend from the National Weather Service. Let's take a look at your forecast one more time. Very pleasant day today. We had 81 on Saturday, 81 on Sunday. We'll be cooler than that today because we're off to a cooler start. 76 for our afternoon high, 52 for the overnight low. The week of high pressure will be at its apex tomorrow with a high of 79 and a low of 60. It begins to move out of the area on Tuesday night. Wednesday, considerably cooler, still lots of sunshine, but still considerably cooler on Wednesday with a high of only 71. And then here comes a fairly robust system. We're going to have active weather. It starts on Thursday, especially Thursday afternoon with a pretty good chance of some rain, but especially on Friday. Friday, Saturday, and right on into Sunday morning, continuous periods of light rain for most of the Wenatchee Valley, considerably cooler temperatures, a good 10 degrees below normal. As you can see, Friday with a high of only 67, Saturday with a high of only 68, and only 66 on Sunday. Those are all below normal. So get ready for some much needed rain. Again, it starts Thursday afternoon, goes through Friday, most of the day Friday, most of the day on Saturday, and Sunday morning as well before we finally dry out. So we've had a long streak of very pleasant weather. For weekends, that's going to change this weekend. But again, we could certainly could use the rain here in North Central Washington. That's it for us. Have a great Monday. We'll be back tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.